Hey, Patrick here. I'm going to review a game that I played against a Victor, and I'm on my Azalea list, and this is just a random Talishar game that I paired into against one of my locals, actually. So I know that this guy's a good player, and I know that he's been playing Bravo for a long time, and he just recently picked up Victor. So I know that he's a good Guardian player, so this is going to be a good rep for me and a good review. And I think that it's an unfavored matchup. I'll say that. I know that Azalea just has a tough time into the defensive capabilities of Victor, as well as Victor has a lot of good disruptive effects. So it's a tough matchup. I don't think it's unwinnable, but it is definitely unfavored. So looking at the equipment I brought in, it's just the standard loadout. I'm bringing in Bullseye Bracer over Warmonger or over Long Draw because I don't expect Warmongers. Death Dealer, then Fiendals, and then I'm bringing in Skullbone over the Balance of Justice. That's just because they can play around Balance of Justice and just deny me the draw. There is some thought to maybe wanting the 2 block, but honestly, I like the offensive capabilities of Skullbone, just being able to dig deeper and find the arrows that matter a little bit more. And then also Snapdragons. Going down to the list though, bring in 60 cards, or I'm playing 60 cards, so I need to bring in 10. I don't want to overboard here. I don't want to go above 60. I don't expect Victors to fatigue me, so I don't need to board up. But I'm bringing in 3 Fatigue Shot. This is just a good on hit because it reduces it halves the base power of the first attack action they play. And if I can sneak this through on a dominate, then this can just be gain a lot of tempo and get 4+ value if I get the right effect. Then also bringing in 3 Infecting Shot. This is just damage. It's just a 1 for 7, or it can tax them a blue. I know that Victors are generally they can sometimes have extra cards, but still taxing them is a good effect. Also just bring in 1 red in the ledger. This is just like the 10th card. It could be anything, honestly. Sometimes you catch them on a turn that they want to use their gold, or they have their visit the Goldmane Estate, or something like that. So it's fine effect, but I don't expect it to be relevant. And then finally, I'm bringing in 3 Remorseless. The top line of text can be relevant. There's a chance that Victors run some number of syncs or fates even. It depends on what flavor of Victor they're playing. So the top line can be meaningful. The bottom line generally just turns this card into a 1 for 6 if it connects. But yeah, let's hop into it. Here we are in game. I won the die roll and chose to go first. I'm just doing that because I want to try to sneak in some damage, and I'm not worried that the Victor is going to be able to use their first 4-card hand very effectively. They want to block out, so I'd rather just go first and try to get some sneaky damage in, or maybe even an on hit that has some kind of effect on their first turn. But you can see here that I'm choosing to load in the Drill Shot instead of the Fatigue Shot. That's just because I want to keep it for next turn, and I conveniently draw the Rain Razors. If I didn't draw the Rain Razors, I think I would have just Azalea flipped this away. But because I drew the Rain Razors, I'm happy to shoot this in for 7 and see if they try to block it, underblock it. If they blocked for 9, if that Rouse was another 3-block, then this wouldn't have worked. I would have been kind of punished, or if they just put all 4 cards in front of it. But I'm assuming that they kept a card they wanted for this turn. So I'm happy with this outcome, though. I get to put a counter on their Aegis, and yeah, get an arsenal, a good arsenal here. But this is exactly why I go first. You can see on their side, they're just coming in for 7, and they're effectively IPing themselves here. So they have a tough time using their full hand. Sometimes it can kind of backfire, but oh well. And I chose not to block. And looking at this again, I honestly think that's probably the right choice. I think the choice to put the Drill Shot on top and flip into it is, I think I would have preferred to do it the other way. I think I would have preferred to have just bottom that and then done pump, shoot the Fatigue Shot for 11, and then arsenal the Bolton Shot. I think that would have been better. Because even though this does threaten armor, and I think I prefer the other way. I think this is a little bit too... I think this is forcing it a little bit too much. Because I'm now kind of priced into using my Snapdragons. Yeah, and then they have the fate. So I don't know. I don't quite like how I played that. I think I should have taken a little bit less of a greedy line. This is fine though. Like it's an okay turn. It's a fine use of my snapdragons, but I don't know. Looking back at this, it doesn't really feel correct, but it's not strictly, wrong. Okay. So on their side, they have a pretty good turn. Being able to go visit Goldmane and then follow up with a CNC. So that's just effectively a one card, what is that? 9? Even more than that, right? Because they get the 3 might, they get to destroy my arsenal, and they get to push 6 damage. So pretty good. That card is absolutely cracked. And here I have the option to block with 2 Bolton shots, but I think with the fact that I'm going into a Tunic turn, I have Rain Razors. I think it's just too good not to. It's too good not to just shoot the 2 Bolton shots with the Rain Razors on it. I think that's a good turn. Yeah, I even get the. It would be nice if I got an arrow here. That'd be kind of cool if I got like I don't know, a 0 cost arrow that's not a Bolton shot, like another drill shot. But I think I only. Actually, no. Those are my only two. Those are my only 2 drill shots in the list right now. So yeah, I don't have any other 0 cost arrow. If it was like endless arrow, that would have been cool actually. That would have been like probably the best hit I could have gotten there. But yeah, it looks like they're choosing not to block here. So I still just go with the same line. Pump it up to 12. I should put that on bottom because I want to draw into an arrow here. I think I did that. Yeah, I did that. Good. And then coming in for 3 damage here. So I'm expecting them to have a pretty good turn here. Probably pummel, I'm guessing. Because they're under Seek and Destroy. Yeah. So they're representing pummel here. And because they're doing that, then they're also underneath Seek and Destroy. I think I should just put 4 cards in front of this. I could try to be cheeky and keep one of these, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I just want to put 11 in front of this. If it's a pummel, it's a pummel. They have to do it, right? Because they're under Seek and Destroy. It wasn't, so I guess it was a bluff on their side. It was a sink below. So I'd love to see that out of the deck, but I kind of hate to see that they have both fates and sinks. Yeah, so that's their second visit Goldmane Estate. And that card's just doing work. But yeah, E-Strike into Hammer. Pretty good stuff. They use their Tunic there. So that's nice. It's nice that they don't have the threat of CNC pummel or being able to like choke slam off of just like having 2 cards. But you can see there, I'm just value blocking. Because I'm expecting for something like this to happen where I might draw an arrow. So I want to just insulate against drawing an arrow. Because if I didn't block with that card, then right here I'd be stuck with 2 cards in hand, and I might be forced to use my bullseye bracers. I could have tried to use my. No, I couldn't have used my Codex there nicely. So yeah, that's kind of a limp turn cycle for me, and followed up by a pretty strong turn from my opponent. I think I already mentioned it in the intro, but the opponent's a local, and I know that they're a good Guardian player. Yeah, so enable chat so we can just chit chat a little bit. But this is a really good turn from them. Yeah, my opponent Chris is saying that he's really enjoying playing Victor. Yeah, this is a tough turn for me. I'm expecting pummel here. But I think if I get hit for 18 here, go to 2. Okay, so it's a blue pummel, so it's coming in for only 16, so I'm at 4. So it's nice. I haven't seen any red pummels yet, only the one blue. And on my side, I could leave this on top and then go flip, then triple pump and shoot the Remorseless for 14. I could also put this on the bottom and then blind flip, trying to find something better. Something better would be like an arrow with a meaningful on hit. I could also, it doesn't matter if I leave this on top, probably put on bottom and then do something like pump, shoot the bolt and shot, or like pump, shoot the bolt and shot, then hope it hits, and then reload the Remorseless, and then shoot the Remorseless. Yeah, you can see in the chat here, opponent Chris is just saying that he's playing blue pummels and 6 D-reacts, and saying that it's really good into Azalea and new. I believe it. This is what Bravo did. They played a bunch of Sinks and Fates naturally, and it was just really good. Just kind of beats up Azalea. But here, I think I'm just making a decision. I think both lines are like the same, essentially, looking back at it. I think I should have gone with the other line. I think I'm a little bit happier going with pump than bolt and shot. I think I would have liked that better, actually. Because it lets me end with an arsenal, and I don't know. Both lines are kind of whatever. I mean, they're fine lines. Like, it's still a good amount of damage. I'm getting to like life parity, but okay, yeah. So he finds the third Visit the Goldmane Estate. That card is absolutely insane. The fact that he found all three is just like crack this game wide open. I think if he didn't find it there or he didn't have it in hand, then it would be a little bit easier of a game here. But again, the fact that he's representing Pummel and he chose not to, I guess he drew into a card, so it's not clear that he saved a card. He saved a Pummel. But here, I think I need to respect it. Yeah, I think I'm even mentioning to him. I'm just saying I wonder if I need to respect red Pummel. Because blue Pummel doesn't kill me, and I don't discard a card because it's not on an attack action. But red Pummel kills me. Blue Pummel just leaves me at 2. I don't think he'd be playing yellow Pummel. He didn't mention it, but I need to assume that he's playing red Pummel. He mentioned specifically he's playing blue Pummel, but red Pummel is just kind of a given. So yeah, I think I blocked correctly there. I respected it and giving up my tunic because I'm not going to get another activation. He could have just passed and left me to just give up my tunic and arsenal the Pummel. That's also a fine line from him. Funnily enough, it would have actually insulated him against the Codex of Bloodrot, but I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure he's going to kill me next turn anyways because he has the 5 might from the Visit Goldmane Estate. Here, I'm considering if I want to leave this on top and then flip into it and then shoot it for 5 dominate. I don't think it matters. I think I would rather... Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think I'm rather just bottom this and then pump up the Endless Arrow and shoot that. Actually, you know what? I should have left that in hand because it's a 3 block. Okay, so block 2 cards and then going with Chokeslam for 13. Yeah, I just die. GG's. Good rep. Good player. Here we are in the post game, and I'm happy with how the game went. Even though I lost, I think I played well, and I made a few good decisions. There's no critical errors that I made, and that kind of goes how the Victor matchup I sort of expect it to go, I should say. I know that my opponent Chris was playing a more defense reaction list, more defense reaction heavy list. I know that his kind of play style, back from when he was playing Bravo, I know that he did a really good job at blocking well and playing defensively, but also finding opportune moments to push with like key on hits or committing to pummel lines. So I know that they're a really strong Guardian player, and it shows in terms of their ability to pilot Victor as well. So it was a good rep, and I'm happy with how I played it. That being said, though, I do have a few notes, and started going from the top down. Just being, I think it showed in that matchup, but not being afraid to block. There was one turn where they represented Pummel. They were coming in for 12, I believe, on the Spinal Crush. They were representing Pummel, and I just had a 4-card hand. I could have played into the Pummel, and so I could have disrespected the Pummel and tried to keep an arsenal, but instead I just chose to block 11 on the 12 and then basically just pass turn and then let their card fizzle to either be a Pummel or fizzle to the Sequence Destroy effect. And I'm fine just blocking out there. I had a nice life lead. I think that this sort of comeback on the next turn was that they were able to get another, I think it was the third visit the Goldmane estate. So that just kind of like crashed my plans for that turn cycle. But yeah, just not being afraid to block. Like, even though you don't block super well, sometimes you just draw like error heavy hands or hands that just aren't going to do enough when presented with the disruption that is coming your way. So you're just block out and hope to do better next cycle. But that goes to the next point of just not don't be afraid to not block. Sometimes, like, again, this game was a good example of that, where I think I had the option to block with 2 Bolton shots on a CNC and give up and protect my arsenal of knock. And I could have done that, but also just taking 6 and losing your arsenal is sometimes the way that has to be. Azalea can struggle to block, so with certain hands. So just don't be afraid to just soak damage and then have an offensive turn. Sort of the deciding factor between like the first and second point is just counting up the value, or like counting up the value on the 2 lines of blocking or not blocking. Sometimes there's a middle ground, like to value block, but in general, just don't worry about, like, your deck should be more aggressive or more offensive into victors. So don't be afraid to just no block and send it back to them. You need to chew through their armor, you need to chew through their defensive capabilities. And giving them time to find all their good cards is one way you can lose this game. Also, sort of leading on to that point as well, is just playing around Pummel. I think that was a good point in the game where I did not lose because I chose to respect red Pummel. That was the decision. It was a red or blue Pummel. I hadn't seen red Pummel yet. And specifically in the chat, Chris had mentioned he was playing blue Pummel. So I was thinking, okay, can I just hold on to my Tunic? It was the turn that they came in with the Titan's Fist. So yeah, just play around Pummel. Both being aware of the damage that it's pushing, as well as the on hit that it can push over the top, as well as the discard effect. Just make sure that your hand is insulated against sort of all, either being insulated against all like outcomes, or just being comfortable playing into a certain outcome. Like, sometimes you can't play around like your hand is like needs, I don't know, they're gonna push a CNC over, right? So sometimes you say, okay, like if they have it, and you'll just discard the card and lose your arsenal, kind of thing. So just be aware of what you're playing into, and what you're exposing yourself to. And then finally, this is just sort of a general point for a lot of these defensive matchups. It's sort of similar to the Bolton mindset, where you're not, if you dominate naturally, cool, but don't force it. Just kind of like, you need to get through the defensive capabilities, and the only way to do that is just presenting these tall numbers. And it's nice if you can have the tall numbers be dominated and make them put their armor in front of it. But honestly, you just need to power through it. It's why it's a rough matchup into these these big fridge decks, is they're just gonna be able to block you out. They're gonna have a nicer time blocking your breakpoint. So don't worry about dominating. Just try to push through and present, while you still have the luxury, try to present opportunities for them to use their armor, so that in the late game, when you need to actually abuse your ability to have breakpoints, then they won't have armor. So you do need to kind of get over the speed bump that is their armor. And dominating is nice, but it's sort of use that in the end game, or if it comes up naturally. But yeah, this was a really good rep, and it was a fun game to play.